Alright gang, I'm outside doing another video on pedal tractors. This video primarily pertains to the one on the left, but the one on the right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it as well. Alright gang, just a little warning, I'm outside this weekend of Hurricane Florence, but I'm in Georgia, not in the Carolinas. We were predicted to have a lot of rain and some gusty winds, and we've just had hot weather, mild winds. You may hear some blowing through this video. Wish it would blow steady and slow. It is hot outside. Humidity is extremely high. And you might hear planes, trains, cars, and possibly some foul language. They're pouring concrete next door, and you know how it gets when you've been out there in the heat all day pouring concrete or doing anything outdoors all day. You get tired. Anyway, let's get to this fabulous tractor. This is the version I spoke of in my other two videos, the Western Flyer AMF tractor, which I think was B517. Don't hold me to that. The other AMF 502 that was built years after this one. Everything same color, same decals, except for the grill slats, the seat, and the steering wheel. They were changed. And this one here is the version I had as a kid. Now I purchased this one off of eBay. This is actually I think I actually purchased this one after I purchased the Western Flyer, and I got both of those off of eBay. The Western Flyer, I think in that video I may have mentioned I got it at what I think is a steal. It's in really good shape except for a steering rod, and I still haven't had time to figure out how to make one, but that is on the agenda. It's winter time's coming, so it could be just a winter time project. This one on eBay was I think right at $200 by it now, and it's kind of looking at the tractor, it looked like it wasn't worth $200, but when I was looking at the other tractors that was online for sale, it was actually cheaper to buy this one. So in the picture, the wheels were black, the steering wheel was black, but I knew it was a metal steering wheel just by how it was made. And there was, on the hood was a cable run through the top of the body with a hook on it. So this thing was most likely hanging from rafters or somewhere for some time in its life. So when I get it home, oh, and there's also some rods welded to the front fork. This rod, there was two of them, was welded to each side, and they acted as stops to keep the steering wheel from spinning 360 degrees. So I'm eagerly waiting for this tractor to show up. It finally gets here, and I tear the box open, and it was in much better condition than I originally thought. Now, when I started cleaning it up, it had black paint, sprayed all over it in spotches and all over the wheels. I used, and I'm not saying do not do this, but to get the black paint off, I used oven cleaner. I sprayed it down with oven cleaner and washed it as fast as I could to get the paint off. I left some of the black paint on. And I took the cable off the top, and then I was going to grind those rods off the fork, but then I decided I didn't want to take a chance in messing the fork up, so I was going to try to find parts. Let me tell you people something. When you go to restore stuff, do your research prior. And I shouldn't say restore, I'm going to say put back together, because it's not getting restored. The Ertl, the Esky tractors, man, you can buy parts all over the place. A lot of Murray parts are available. When it came to the AMF tractors, there's hardly anything out there. There's a few pieces that they remanufacture, but not many, and they're super high in price. So I decided I was going to try to find a replacement tractor or a parts tractor, and I did. And we'll do a separate shot of that one in this video. So what I did is, as I said, I got the black paint off of it. I pulled the chain guard open to see about getting what kind of link, I don't know what you call them, the master link. I remember replacing on my bicycles as kids. I was going to get a link and put the chain back together because the chain was in it. Kind of find out the chain wasn't broke. The main sprocket was broke on the pedals, shattered. It's not even in there. It's crazy. But let's take a little closer look. I'm going to walk up to it. So you have, just like the other one, A502 Power Track AMF. Give you a shot. The hole was drilled through on both sides, and the cable was here. It's probably about that high with a hook. Well, I'm sorry, probably about that high with a hook. I really suck. But anyway, I took it off. You see black paint there. There's another shot. There's black paint there, and I decided not to get it all off because somebody put it on there. I'm thinking it may be a kid. The front wheel was totally blacked out, as were both back wheels. And I'll show you. You see, I didn't get all the paint off. There's scratches in there too, and some light rust, but I left black paint on there because it's part of its history. Now the treads on the tractor tire, they've been used, to say the least. Now the front tire, it is in bad shape. Now the rim itself is better than the rim that came off of it, but the tire is shot. There ain't no more riding for that. Now, oof, I've been trying to find a tire, and I thought I picked one up. It's a little bit bigger. I think this is 6 and something. The other one, the one I picked up was a 7-inch, and it had the same dome. And I get it home, find out it didn't have the dome on the other side. So I just wasted like $9. But oh well, it is what it is. Show you the side of the grill, all the slats. And let's get down to the pedal section. Now you see, you hear the chain. It's still connected. It's just no gear there or sprocket, and it's been welded. The engine is still in it. Now my brother, he and I were talking about this, and I thought that he and I both agreed that ours had white engines. This one is silver and it's black up underneath. This is the only one I've seen so far online with a silver engine. I'm sure there might be pictures of with them that had silver engines, but so far I've only seen white engines or no engine. Usually the engine is missing. But the engine is good on this side. I mean, it has its issues as well, but the other side got a big hole in it. So when I got it, I took it straight to my mom and dad's house and showed my dad. And my dad has, from Marines to boxing and all that stuff he did as a younger man, he doesn't have full use of half his body. He can move around all that, but he doesn't have good use out of one leg and one arm. So he reaches over there. There's a little hole here and a little hole here, and he goes and touches it and punches a big section out. So I think it's still in there. But no worries, I'll get another one eventually, because you can still pick the engine up. It's not cheap. This side here, Power Track AMF, only Illinois, USA, A502. And talking about how the wheel could spin 360 degrees. And a rod, like nails on the chalkboard. The rod is bent, so it binds up a little bit. Not really going to worry about it. Alright, so the chain is bound up here. I can roll it backwards. There's no problem until the chain flips all the way back around, binds back up, but the chain is locking the wheel down. And you see here, you see how the tread's worn pretty slick, as is common on a lot of farm tractors. They use those tires. Those tires aren't cheap, so you'll see them used up till you start seeing the air in the actual tractor tire. The hook is still on it, and the metal seat. Can't get that off. I'm not sure what that is, and I don't want to mess up the paint. Then there's the steering wheel. Still has black paint on it and metal. I remember that steering wheel fondly because it's rolled. And I can remember getting, catching a little fingernail there. Part of growing up is pain. Deal with it. Alright, so as I was mentioning previously, it's hard to find replacement parts for these AMF tractors right now. Hopefully somebody will just stumble across a bunch of new old stock and put it up for sale so I can jump all over them. But until then, I figured I'd just buy a parts tractor. This one was on eBay. It was not listed under AMF pedal tractors, AMF toys, or anything. It was listed under pedal tractor outdoor toys. It was painted an orangish color, the entire thing. Well, the wheels were not painted. Seat or steering wheel wasn't painted, but everything, but the tractor itself was painted orange. So I was going to use it for parts to repair that one. But when I get it home, or when it finally delivers, this thing is in really good shape. I do want to get a new seat for it because that does have a slight crack in it, and I'm scared if somebody sits on it, they'll crack it the rest of the way. It does have the plastic steering wheel. There's the metal steering wheel. So basically what I did when I got this one home, and again, that fork and tire came off of this tractor. That fork and tire came off of that tractor. So I opened it up and I said, well, let me just clean it up and see what we got. So I took a soap pad, started washing it down with a soap pad. Lo and behold, that old crappy orange paint, most of it came off with a soap pad. And I mean, there's still areas with it, and it kind of looks like a strawberry tint, but there's still areas that has the paint on it. And here's the ironic thing. I've had this tractor for maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. Been sitting out in the rain and all that, because when I clean it up with a soap pad, you see the decal is pretty much gone here, and most of it's gone here. Unfortunately, it came off with the other paint, as did all the gray paint in the slats here. Notice the slat difference here, width here versus the slat difference there. We'll do a better comparison. But the paint went down to the bare metal in this section. And you know, and in other spots too. But you know, when they made these toys, they didn't powder coat them, they didn't primer them, they just painted them. They were meant to be played with, and they probably never thought people would want them like 50 years later. So this has been sitting outside in the rain, the cool nights, the hot days, and it has not rusted much at all. It's amazing. So anyway, I showed you guys the rod. Hold on a sec. So this rod was welded about here to where when it turned it would stop. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking over the camera again. Pretty smart idea. But because I didn't want to take a chance of messing the fork up, I decided I needed the new sprocket section, and the fork I just buy a parts tractor. So I went ahead and swapped the fork, but I could not bring myself to tear this one apart. It's too good a shape. So here's my list of parts I need now. An engine, another sprocket gear, so I can get all these 3 502s put back together. I'm going to try not to buy another tractor unless it's missing a bunch of parts except for the ones I need. Primarily the sprocket area is what I'm really looking for. But I don't want to buy a 4th one and may start with 4 decent tractors. That's probably what's going to happen. I'm going to do just a front view of the grill side by side, and you see here it looks rusty, but it's not really that bad rusty because all the paint came off to the bare metal here too. I hate that happened, and you know, it did have some gray on there, like that color gray, but it just all came off. Cause you know, I only used a soap pad, and you know, those are fairly soft, and I guess the 2 different paints over the years, they just messed up everything else. But that's the front ends, and there's the forks. You see that I swapped, and that's the tractors. Alright gang, so that's right now that's it for these videos for the pedal tractors. I hope you enjoyed them. If you know anywhere I can buy AMF parts fairly cheap, drop me a note, a line, a website. I'd really appreciate it. I do appreciate you viewing this video. Have a great day.